You're listening to Clarity with Priya, the space where we strip away the noise, the assumptions, and the false urgency and get down to what actually drives momentum. Today, I want to talk about a moment every customer success professional has felt, the gap between what we thought the customer would do and what they actually end up doing. We assume adoption is a natural next step after onboarding. But most often than not, the customer stalls, not because they can't do it, but because they don't know how to move with us. This isn't a product problem, it's a clarity problem. Somewhere along the way, onboarding became a handoff ceremony. Implementation finishes, documentation is shared, everyone nods politely, and we assume the customer will take it from there. But onboarding was never meant to be that transactional. Here's another way to think about it. Onboarding is the moment you define the relationship, not the process. It's where you set the tone for how collaboration works. It's where ownership becomes visible. It's where success stops being hypothetical and becomes mutual. Most onboarding failures don't happen in the setup, they happen in silence, the things no one actually spelled out. When customers don't adopt, it's easy to assume resistance. But in reality, most teams are simply operating without a map. They are unclear on what success will tangibly look like. Needs to drive which outcome internally, what the tool should replace, improve, or eliminate, how to measure progress, and what happens when nothing changes. Without that clarity, customers don't disengage, they freeze. Adoption doesn't fail because people don't care. It fails because no one aligned on the path. A pattern I have seen again and again. CS team jumps in so hard during onboarding that the customer stops walking. Not on purpose, they are just responding to the energy we set. When the vendor over owns, the customer under owns. And then we wonder why progress feels heavy. Clarity in ownership isn't about pulling back, it's about making things explicit. Here's your role, here's ours, here's how we move together. When that agreement is clear, accountability becomes natural and not forced. People think onboarding is about learning the product, but the real shift happens when the customer learns themselves what will change, what will get easier, and what impact they can expect over time. That's the magic moment when the tool becomes a capability and not a feature. Onboarding isn't just preparation, it's an initiation. It's making the future feel concrete enough to commit to. So, here's your moment of clarity for today. What expectations are you setting in onboarding, and which ones are you unintentionally skipping? Because customers don't need more information. They need direction. They need alignment. They need a shared definition of what good looks like. When that's clear, adoption is no longer a gamble. It's a natural progression. This is Clarity with Priya. If this episode reframed how you think about onboarding, share it with someone building customer journeys that actually work. See you in the next conversation.